If the only metric you're really focused on in your eComm business is ROAS, it's a fast way to lose a lot of money. Here's what I mean by that. And if you've seen my last few posts, I've been giving ROAS a hard time. It's not that we hate ROAS. It's an important part of your marketing metrics and tracking, but it's a part, right? You don't want to get focused on just ROAS. And we see this all the times with agencies. Agencies will pump up ROAS as the metric, right? But really, it's a vanity metric. It's very, very important. But what ROAS is really showing you is obviously return on ad spend. So it's showing you cost of acquisition for a customer, which is really important. You want to make sure that when you're running paid ads, that you're actually getting a return on that money. It's really, really important. But what a lot of agencies and a lot of business owners don't factor in is that if you're acquiring customers and your return on ad spend is positive, but there's not enough profit in your product to actually keep enough money in the business for you to get paid as the business owner, as well as to pay for product, as well as to pay for overheads and sundries, etc., etc., etc. If your margin's too thin, just making money on your paid ads up front is still going to send your business broke. This is the part that a lot of business owners don't get. It's that if there's not enough margin in the product, if you're only able to keep 4 cents in every dollar, it doesn't matter how much money you spend and how profitable the ad campaigns look. You can have really profitable client acquisition, but if there's only 4 cents in the dollar that you're keeping, or 10 cents or 20 cents in the dollar, right? That's not enough money to pay you as the founder. It's not enough money to keep your business floating. So ROAS is one of these metrics that kind of looks really good and looks really shiny on the front. But if you look at it from a business modeling perspective, from a broader, more holistic business sense, it can actually be sending you broke really quick. Now, how to fix ROAS, right? How to fix this problem is if you've got positive ROAS, that's great. But then you also want to look at what percentage of that dollar, if you're spending 20%, 30%, 50% of your marketing, of your money on marketing, what else is coming out of that dollar, right? So what is your people cost? And your people cost is your staff, anyone in your business, including you as the business owner. So this is the part that a lot of business owners forget about. If there's not enough money in every dollar that you're earning to pay yourself money, then you'll be running a business for years and years and years and never getting paid. And that's a horrible place to be in, because you want to get paid. You want a business that actually supports your lifestyle, that allows you to retire your partner, allows you to have the lifestyle that you want. And if you're just focusing on something like ROAS and going, well, my ads are making me money, but then on the back end, I'm not getting paid. My product then actually takes out another 50%, 30, 40, 50% of the dollar. So I've got 30% going on ads. I've got another 50% on product cost. So now out of the dollar, 80 cents is already spent. Of the 20 cents on every dollar that's left, even though my ROAS might be looking good, that 20 cents has to pay me, it has to pay my staff, it's got to pay my overheads, and that's too fine a margin, right? So understanding margin, having a more holistic view of your business is really, really important. So other metrics you really want to get good at knowing is things like return customer rate. Once you get a customer in and you've got a positive ROAS and you've acquired a customer once, how many more times can you sell to them and how much do they buy each time? So return rate. How often does that first customer then buy again and again and again and again? And how much do they buy each time? So then you can look at lifetime value, right? LTV, CLTV, customer lifetime value. So when you understand that number, you got return rate. So you know that you've got a 20, 30% return rate, 40, 50% return rate. So every time you acquire a customer, you know they're going to buy a certain amount from you over a certain period for the life of that customer. So then you can go back to ROAS and go, right, my ROAS is bringing a customer in and it's profitable, right? I'm getting a customer in even for cost because I know that I'm going to sell them 4, 5, 6 more times. And that's where I'm going to make profit. That's way more profitable because I'm not spending to acquire the customer for each of those additional purchases. So this is where ROAS in isolation can go really wrong, because you can say, yeah, I'm acquiring customers and I'm profitable because I've got a positive ROAS. But then if you've got no back end, you've got no email follow up, you've got no ongoing marketing, retargeting, incentive programs, right, to keep people buying, just acquiring that customer and having them buy once means you've to get another 100 customers next month, you've got to go and acquire another 100 customers. And this is where ROAS becomes a bit of a funny metric. But when you can combine positive ROAS with a positive lifetime value and a positive return rate, now you're starting to have a sustainable, safe, scalable business, right? And a lot of coaches out there, a lot of agencies will pitch you scale, and they'll look at things like ROAS and go, well, we'll just scale your revenue, right? Spend more money on ads, make more revenue. But if you don't understand how profitable that revenue is and how you're driving that profitability over time sustainably through things like email follow-up, through things like incentive programs, so that your lifetime value, your return rate, your cohort analysis, all these sorts of things are in a really good place as well. And you're able to continue to sell to customers over time without having to pay the acquisition cost of that customer, because you've paid that acquisition cost once. And that's kind of your ROAS, right? You've paid the customer, you've paid for the customer once. And now every successive time that you sell them, it's costing you less to make that sale. So it's way more profitable. And that's how you build a really profitable business. So this is why I've been harping on ROAS, and this is why we don't just focus on ROAS with our customers and clients in the inner circle, in our e-commerce circle coaching programs. We really want to look at the business holistically, understand all of the numbers. And once we go, okay, we can acquire a customer here for this much, and we're going to sell them this much over this sort of period. That as a business model looks really good. Now we can scale. Now we can put more money into ads. Now we can scale organic campaigns. We can attach and improve email marketing, right? So without knowing the whole business, just burning cash in ads can be very, very dangerous, and it sends a lot of businesses broke. And that's why I've been harping on the dangers of kind of just focusing on the vanity metric that is ROAS. So there's some context around the last few posts and why I've sort of been harping on ROAS. We don't hate ROAS, but it's important to understand these other metrics in your business as well, because that's the stuff that's actually going to give you sustainability. That's the stuff that's actually going to give you a business where you can hire people into the business and step out of all of the roles, win back some time for you and your family and your lifestyle, right? Because if you're just focusing on getting customers and you have to get 100 customers to sell 100 things every month, that's a hamster wheel. And that's where you're in the business 60, 70, 80, 100 hours a week. And that's not where we want you to be as a business owner. It's not where you want to be as a business owner. That's a fast way to burnout, right? That's the fast track to burnout, mental health, physical health concerns. We don't want you there. We want you to have time to spend with your family, time to spend doing the things that you love outside of work, whilst having a business that actually supports all of those goals. So that's why we don't want to just focus on ROAS. We want to understand the holistic sort of model of the business. And that's where we start with a lot of our clients, to make sure that we get that holistic view. And then we can look at scaling you safely and sustainably, because we really understand how the business operates. So hopefully that's some clarity on why I've been attacking ROAS lately. So hopefully that was useful. Drop me some comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment whatever's available wherever you see this posted. Because we like to help businesses out of this funk of, overwhelm, not really understanding their numbers, not understanding why they're really successful on the front end of their business and their ROAS is really high, but then at the end of the month, they got no money to pay themselves. And this is one of the key features of why that doesn't work for them. So feel free to reach out, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.